Hi everybody, this is Handyman Dave here, and today we're going to remove and replace this ceiling fan. The one we've got right now it stopped working a while back, and so we've decided to replace it and put up a new one. So I'm going to remove two of these blades so that I can get to the ceiling fan better. So the way we undo these is just take a Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew the blades. Typically there's 3 screws on each blade. So after I remove the 2 blades, now I'm going to take off the cover. So after we remove the cover, disconnect the wires. And by the way, as usual, you want to make sure you have all the electricity turned off to this fan. Okay, you know what? We've decided that it would be better just to go ahead and take off all the blades, because eventually you got to take them off anyway, and it just makes it easier to handle the ceiling fan when we bring it down. So anyway, we've got fan blades disconnected, so the next thing to do is to disconnect the wire connectors and disconnect the wires from the fan, and then we'll drop the fan down. You notice I'm putting the wire connector back onto the wire that comes from the ceiling. You don't have to do that, but I'm just doing it. Just to keep, so I don't lose the wire connectors. So anyway, my wires are disconnected. Now all I have to do is just lift the fan up out of its carriage and drop the motor down, and there it is. Okay, so I've got the little bracket up here, or the old bracket actually, and this bracket is a little bit different than the one I've got in my hand. The one I've got in my hand is what came with the new fan. And every one of these brackets vary to some degree, so we're going to take the old bracket out and put the new bracket in. The bracket is what actually holds, what is the mechanical hold of the fan to the ceiling. And typically there's 2 screws that hold this bracket in. So there it is, that's all there is, 2 screws, and then we'll just ease the bracket through. Alright, so now we're ready to put the new bracket on. All I'm doing now is just trying to center this as much as possible. Once you get it centered, you want to make sure you tighten the screws down snugly. These screws are bolted into the cup inside the ceiling there that's attached to the ceiling joists. And you want to make sure this is snugged in real tight, because this is what's going to hold your ceiling fan in. Alright, so the next step we're going to do is install these grommets to each one of the blades. These rubber grommets just slip right into the blade. Kind of work them in like that. Make sure both sides are even. And do that for each one. Just like that. Alright, so we've got, next thing we got to do is remove all the shipping blocks from the fan motor. And we want to keep the screws, because we'll be using them later. Shipping block. Okay, so this is the downrod that the unit came with, and this is a really short downrod. What we're going to do is install this 18-inch downrod. And this is 18-inch long and 3/4 inch wide pipe or threads, and this is 3/4 inch thread. So the way we're going to do that, you just undo the screw here, take it out, and this downrod comes out like that. There's a little piece plastic insert, and we want to take the ground wire off the downrod. So I'm going to take the ground wire off of the short downrod, and we're going to put it on the new downrod. And there you have it. So now we've got the extended downrod connected. Alright, so we're going to install the downrod. The fan motor has a little screw that we need to take out, and we need to save it because we're going to use this screw to bolt in the downrod. I've already fed the wires into the downrod, so I just want to pull them through. Once I get them pulled through, then I just screw the downrod into the fan motor. You get it in there really nice and snug. Alright, so I've got the downrod snugly into the motor, and then remember that screw I was telling you about you want to keep. You want to screw that back in, because this is what's going to hold this downrod in real nice and snug. Once I get that screwed in, then I'm going to get a wrench and I'll snug it down. Alright, so we want to make sure that we feed our canopy through here before we install the fan motor. I can just let this canopy set loose down here. And the fan motor and the downrod, it just kind of fits right up into there. And it just cradles in real nicely. So now we've got the fan hanging from the bracket, and the only thing now left to do up here would be to connect the wires. So I've got my green-yellow wire from the bracket, a green-yellow wire from the fan, and a copper wire from the ceiling. These are my grounding wires, and I'm going to hook all three of these together. All right, so my grounding is done. Nope, came out. And make sure that when you do these, using these nuts, that everything is in snugly. Sometimes they don't get in real tight. And I think I got it that time. Okay. Okay, so this fan has a remote receiver, and we're going to hook that up. So this remote receiver will allow me to use a remote control to turn the fan on and off and adjust the speed. So the first thing we want to do is connect the blue wire from the receiver to the blue wire from the fan itself. And again, just make sure you got your wire nuts on there really good. Okay. And then we're going to connect the black, I guess we'll connect the yellow wire from the receiver to the black wire to the fan. So the yellow wire from the receiver will connect to the black wire that comes directly from the fan. Okay, so we'll connect the black wire from the receiver to the black wire from the ceiling. Okay, so next is I connect the white wire from the receiver to the white wire from the fan. Those two wires go together, and then also connect to the white wire from the ceiling. Okay, so I've got this. What I've got here is the neutral or white wire. All white wires are neutral. The white wire, neutral coming from the ceiling, connected to the white wire or neutral wire from the fan motor. And the other white wire you see connected is going to the remote control. The black wire is hot. So there's one black wire going to the remote and one black wire on this side going to the ceiling. On the other side of this remote is a blue wire going to a blue wire down into the fan assembly. The blue wire is the wire that's going to turn on the light. The yellow wire from the remote side is connected to the black wire going down into the fan. And that's that is a hot wire. And I don't know why the remote would have yellow on this side, but it is yellow. So that's your wiring for the fan. So on this remote control, there is one other little wire dangling and it's not connected. That's an antenna, just so you know. Okay, so I got all my wires connected. Next thing I'm going to do is to stow the receiver. And there's no real plan on that. You just have to kind of slide it through. So the receiver kind of sits like that. And these wires can hang out. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to take the canopy. Julie, take the canopy cover and just cover the receiver and the wires. Just like that. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to attach the fan arms to the fan blade. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is attach the fan blades to the fan motor. Okay. Okay, so this fan has a light kit, and so the next step is to hook up the light kit. Okay, so we've got our light going. There we go. And these are dimmables. Let's get brighter. So we got that in. Next, the last piece of this puzzle is to install the glass bulb that goes under it. And so the way that works is we will take this. Okay, so we get our bowl in. And get our little piece like that. Now we got our light bulb in. We can make it brighter or dimmer. See if it'll go brighter. Brighter. Here it comes. Okay, that's working. Let's see if the fan works. And there it goes. Now I'll get my head cut off. But that's it, folks.